Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now March 3rd of 2025, and given that the series by Netflix With Love Meghan is already a production disaster and set to be a ratings disaster by Netflix in the coming days, we already know that there's a lot of things going on right now between Meghan Markle, the Netflix executives, and even the general public who have been calling out this show for what it truly is. In fact, we here, of course, for the past couple of months now, we've been really pointing out everything that's been going wrong behind the scenes and in the public eye, based on Meghan Markle's recent behavior, how she's been acting not just with Netflix, but other studios out there like HBO, Universal, and the list goes on and on. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about the series With Love Meghan, which by the way is out right now on Netflix, there's a lot to discuss, and we will be covering every single aspect of this show. But interestingly enough, Meghan Markle is on this somewhat of a press tour that's very minimized at this point, because we already know that the board of directors surprisingly wanted to minimize the press tour and really wanted to just cut away from funds also from their marketing campaign. That's why you're not really seeing all that many commercials or ads for this show. That's the main reason behind it all. But this is where it gets interesting, because already Meghan Markle is beginning to go on a rant. She's beginning to go on a tirade blaming those within the general public for criticizing her show, and also saying some of the most inauthentic things out there while trying to promote With Love Meghan, and it only gets worse. It's only creating more damage for this series in the midst of her trying to do damage control. So let's hop into this. Now, with Meghan Markle's Netflix show, With Love Meghan, already a complete disaster, both publicly and behind the scenes at Netflix, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle's recent reaction and what she had to deliver to the public, where she delivered the following. The importance of a show like this is to show a side of my life that so many don't even know about and what I'm passionate about. But far too often we are judging the series that Netflix and I put together so well that truly delivers my life of cooking, housework, and my hobbies. When you have critics over a series like this, I think this showcases the real problem in this world. And I have seen so many critics that it's not only disrespectful, but inflammatory behavior coming from many of these critics that really don't understand the importance of feminism, and I think the criticism surrounding my project and my brand really just shows how much misogyny and sexism that we are dealing with in modern times, especially now in 2025, where I think that when you take a step back and look at everything of what's going on in the US with politics, that's the true source of the problem there. We need to move away from these toxic people that like to call themselves critics, of those that like to critique a series just because somebody is in a show. It just shows their own fear and ignorance, and it's embarrassing behavior to see that we have people like that who are very loud and really don't know how to shut up. The opinions for our series are obviously coming from a terrible place of uneducated people that really don't understand the importance of what it means to be a woman. And I see a ton of these misguided people also happen to be women themselves that really need some guidance, and I hope this series delivers and provides that for them so that I can be their idol, to judge them on their journey to embrace their dreams. We decided to go for the title With Love Meghan because it's all about love after all in my life, you know? Everything you see in this project is my authentic self and my real self, and I think it made the entire process easier when actually doing this. But when you are dealing with loud, inflammatory people that never know how to quiet down or keep their opinions to themselves, that's when you know you made it. That's when you know you're successful, because I think there is always going to be a sense of jealousy with one's success. So guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about Meghan Markle. She's basically saying at the end there, toward the end of what she has to spew about this series, is that the critics are critiquing the show because they're jealous. And I don't see any example of that at all. Why people would be jealous of Meghan Markle in a series like this is beyond me. The reason why people are critiquing it, calling it out for what it is because it is so obviously and plainly obvious, quite frankly, that the series is not only inauthentic, it is nothing more than Meghan Markle desperately trying to stay in the limelight. She's using it basically as a way to use Netflix as a launch pad to remain how she sees herself as relevant in the film industry, which is now just collapsing all around her. And not only that, it's the fact that we have terrible content like this on Netflix that is also going along with these rate increases, prices going up for Netflix and other streaming services. People are fed up and tired of all the nonsense. That's all what it really boils down to. And when you look at a show like With Love, Meghan, in particular, this is something that nobody asked for, even a lot of Meghan Markle fans, and yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? She has fans. But even some Meghan Markle fans out there are already rejecting this show outright. There's going to be a lot of conversations going on with the looming ratings for this series, so stay tuned on that. We have a lot to discuss, and believe me, this show is just as bad as you thought it would be. It really is quite honestly the worst production by Netflix in at least the past 5 to 6 years, easily. Maybe even more than that. Now, moving onward, she goes on to deliver further. I have no doubt in my mind that this series will deliver, and we will be able to provide something truly special for women and to inspire them to stand up against misogyny and sexism that has plagued this world. Our series, With Love, Meghan, is about really exploring what it means to be a woman who is very honest and truthful to her friends and family, and that's me. Anyone saying otherwise is just, I think, lying about who I am and what I care about. Getting to work with Mindy, she's talking about Mindy Kaling. Mindy was also a treasure who believes in the same values as I do, and how sexism and misogyny needs to be called out and towered over with success. So, again, it's all about sexism, this, misogyny, that. She never really seems to go off that trope. That's all she talks about. This is all that Meghan Markle always talks about when it comes to criticism, when it comes to, a lot of critiques out there of what she's been in, what she's worked on, what she plans to do some work on with other projects. And look, this is exactly why she is not built for damage control. If anything, this damage control made Netflix go through more damage. It actually harmed their image. It's creating more issues for Netflix, and this series, I think, is going to get even worse ratings after all of that. So again, I think that Meghan Markle realizes that this show is just not going to work, period, the end. This is why Netflix at this point, they're going to do whatever is possible to prop this series up and to really make it seem like it's okay, that it's, not all that bad. But in reality, it is by far one of the worst productions actually spewed out by Netflix. There's no doubt about this. Again, when you see it for yourself and what's going on with the show, it's really not good to look at or good to listen to as well. And believe me on this. Now, when you look at things like Meghan Markle, when you look at things like this series in particular, after the whole Pamela Anderson drama and how she did indeed copy the title from Pamela's show, Pamela's Cooking with Love, and also a lot of elements in that show that were directly copied and shoehorned or just copy and pasted into Meghan Markle's show. Alright, that's also another big part of the drama going on over at Netflix right now, and why the public is just fed up with the inauthenticity, the fakeness, the greediness, the narcissistic behavior, and how she's just so insufferable. I mean, those are the 5 best ways to describe Meghan Markle, right? But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.